Hi everyone, welcome to Aviation Plus Africa. We are here live at the day 2 of the Nigerian Aircraft Acquisition and Investment Summit, NANS 2026. I am your host, Feishola Adeyeha.
In this fight, we've taken it to the National Assembly. You saw the Chairman Senate Committee on Aviation talking the other time. We've partnered them, AON, my organization, the airline body, went to him and he cooperated with us today that could define some of those things that we institutionalize, those things that will make it sustainable for you. So you don't have anything to fear about investing in Nigeria. Yes, it is true some time ago that some operators defaulted, but it was equally true that some lessors made it possible for that default. It's not in all cases that Nigerian operators were wrong. You are witnesses to the fact that APs alone has lost millions of dollars to fraudulent lessors. CFAX of Tunisia duped APs of $3 million. I knew they were going to dupe us. I knew when one morning they woke up and said, "Oh, our aircraft needs to undergo a check." I said, "Such check can happen in Nigeria." They said, "No, there's a special check. They would like to take the aircraft back to base and bring it back in 3 days' time." Meanwhile, the agreement they signed with us stated that for you to remove that aircraft, you must bring a replacement aircraft because you are going to affect the operations of the airline. The chief operating officer of Air Peace clamped on that plane and said, "No way, you're not going anywhere." And when that got to my notice, I overruled my chief operating officer. I said, "Tony, if you don't release this aircraft, these guys will be telling the world that a Nigerian airline seized their aircraft, and that is all they'll be hearing. Nobody will know the truth about what you're saying." You also say that APs is unsafe, that they wanted to go and do some maintenance, but AP said, "No, fly the plane like that." Those are the lies and the narratives you're going to get. I released the aircraft, knowing fully well that our $3 million was at risk, and they left, and they never came back. The Nigerian government got across to Tunisia. The Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority got across to their Civil Aviation Authority. Nothing happened. The next day, they registered the aircraft to another airline in Italy. Till date, APs lost $3 million. Now, 4 months ago, SmartLinks airline made APs lose almost $38 million. Collected the monies upfront, knowing fully when they were not going to operate, and left our shores unannounced. All of you seated here know about SmartLinks. None of you will say that you don't know. APs lost about $8 million in the process. So I don't want my country to be demonized for nothing. We are highly stigmatized, and Nigerians are very, very good people. I have to say this. We are very good. We must be proud of ourselves. It's just the narrative being pushed out there to the world that Nigeria is this, is that. So once you are mentioned to be a Nigerian, you're already a criminal. You're already as guilty as speculated. It is not so. I know an airline that folded up in this country because they were paying and paying and paying, and at the end of the day, they couldn't get the aircraft.
So I don't want to appreciate the table to be easy for the operators. And I can see, and the Lord can see, I appreciate all that have come here today. I appreciate your time. And I appreciate all the things that you've done. I remember some airline chairman met me and said, "Go to the bank of this guy, I hope it's what you want." And that chairman has come to me. Thank you.
The operating environment have been very, very toxic to the extent that the many airlines were dying. Remember that over 50 airlines have come and gone in this country, and this government will We approached them and they told us they were going to support us. And exactly that they are doing. They removed VAT from ticket sales. They removed VAT from, just as we did with them, they removed VAT from aircraft acquisition, VAT from spare parts acquisition, and there are more. We've written to the president himself, has written to the president. I'm sure in the coming days or weeks, will give us already so that we can tell you some other things we need them to do. For example, we need other taxes and charges to be slapped, especially with the Iran war. The US-Iran war has brought a lot of problems in the airline industry worldwide, globally, not just Nigeria. And you can see that airlines, even stronger airlines all over the world, are cutting capacity, and some are even shutting down. We don't want that to happen to Nigerian airlines, because if that happens, it's going to affect the economy. So we are asking the government to remove all manner of taxes for the time being until the situation.
I come from Ireland,
Okay.
which was the home of the foundation of one of the world's first aircraft leasing companies, GPA, in 1975.
Okay.
It's 51 years ago. The summit is really to be applauded, and great to hear that it's going to be repeated.
Okay.
The Nigeria's aviation requirements need to be seen, I think, in the African context, and not to be too controversial. The shape and structure of commercial air transport in Africa has permitted it to be a kind of an extraction industry of sorts.
Okay.
It involves a lot of permanent capital outflow, and it involves a lot of money leaving the continent in terms of rentals and debt service,
Okay.
which is not objectionable in itself, but it can be mitigated, and it can be turned into a sort of a virtuous circle where investment by Africans in African enterprise makes a bigger cake, so that you don't deny necessarily incumbents, but you actually grow the business and bit by bit basically recover African enterprise for African people.
Thank you for staying with us for the 2 days summit of Nigerian Aircraft Acquisition and Investment Summit. This is Aviation Plus Africa TV. I remain your host, Feishola Adeyeha. Thank you.